How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, make sure you go down and subscribe before we get started into the video. Today, I'm very excited because we are taking the Miata out of the garage and on its first shakedown. Well, technically second shakedown. I went around the block yesterday just to make sure the car was in proper working condition. It's good enough to drive, but there are a couple things we have to do before we drive it, and there are a couple things we have to do after we drive it to continue enjoying it throughout the summer. What I went ahead and did yesterday was I went and put a seat back into the car, because obviously both the seats were out of the car because I want to put buckets in it. But that being said, let's do the one thing we need to do before starting the car, which is add oil, because I think the bottom of the oil pan is dripping a little bit and it makes a little bit of lifter tick. So technically it's just changing its own oil, but we should add a little bit of oil, get it started, get it warmed up, hook the cameras up and take it out on a little drive, talk about the issues that it's having right now, what we need to do in this following couple of weeks before the summer hits. So I actually have oil for this car because I'm planning to do an oil change sometime in the near future here. I've just been too lazy to do it. Also, if you guys remember, there are a couple of issues that we diagnosed at the beginning of the winter, which still exist, obviously. I think that should be enough oil for now. That lifter tick, now that I've added oil, is basically gone. So I know that I need to fix some type of oil leak in this car. So obviously there's a couple of things wrong with this car. One of the main things being the throwout bearing. The throwout bearing is okay to drive on a little bit, not really recommended to drive on a lot, but hey, it's going to have to do the job just for a little bit, and then once we do decide to take the transmission out, then we will fix all the issues that it has. But an oil change, fixing the oil leaks, or the one big leak in the throwout bearing, are my main objectives. Our shift is slightly rough due to the bad throwout bearing. I'm not sure if it's completely out, because I think the symptoms that I would be having would be a lot worse if it was completely out. It's actually not too bad in here. I should probably talk a little bit louder because there is a little wind noise. I was riding a motorcycle earlier and I was freezing, but with the windshield and being in the car, it's actually not too bad. The heat in the Miata actually does work, which is something you wouldn't expect to work, but the air conditioning doesn't. But the air conditioning isn't as much of a must as heat is in Wisconsin. One thing you forget is kind of how raw this car is. There's really not too much, like, it's just you in the car, which I absolutely love about this thing. But it also just does take a second to get used to. It is a little cold. Not saying that it's not. Get on a little twisty road, and let's remember how bad that suspension is, which we're gonna be changing soon. You guys have not seen the video where we fixed the door cards in the Miata. I did leak the next mod, which I'll say now is suspension related. So random. There's just chickens in the middle of the road. Oh, I love driving this car. It just makes me feel like I'm literally driving a tin can, and it's the most fun experience imaginable. The exhaust isn't obnoxious. There is an exhaust on it and it does drone a little bit at lower RPMs, kind of like if I do slow down just a tad. after that, at that stop sign, got on the car for a second, third, and you know, I'm not breaking any laws. In my Mustang, I'd be going like 120 miles per hour. I went nowhere, absolutely nowhere. So shakedown went well, but the oil pressure is reading a little bit low, probably due to not having all the oil that it should have, but suspension definitely is not the best. You guys saw me bouncing around in the car, but this car's so much fun. At certain points, the throwout bearing was acting out, which is kind of why the gears were a little bit crunchy, but other than the oil pressure and probably needing a little bit of maintenance under the hood and the throwout bearing, everything performed well and pretty much exactly like it should have. So I'm very happy and pleased with the results of today's drive. Plus, it was so much fun. She is far from perfect, but it's so much fun. That's all I have for this video. I just wanted to go take the car out on a drive, honestly, and thought I'd make a fun video. So if you did enjoy, please leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. As always, I will see you guys in the next video. I'm just holding on for dear life right now.